up, everybody? It's your girl Precious Mary, and I'm here to review Insecure Season 3, Episode 1. Episode 1 premiered on Sunday. So, basically, in this episode is about setting up boundaries and, of course, communicating. I think that's one thing that Issa has a problem with. She has a problem, well, at least with Issa, her problem is communication. She still needs to work on that. And Molly, she has worked on setting boundaries with her relationship with Dro. So let's first discuss Issa, and it's not going to take that long. Of course, we know that Issa is living with Daniel, and I think out of petty reasons, Daniel is having sex with girls when Issa, knowing fully well that Issa is inside the house. I actually didn't have a problem with that because you're living in his household. Issa is not paying any rent. She's not paying bills or anything like that to help Daniel around financially wise. Probably the only thing that she's doing is buying food, and it's probably for herself mostly. But out of courtesy and out of respect, it would be nice for Daniel to give Issa a heads up, and Issa does tell Daniel that. And the reason why I said that Daniel is being kind of petty is because of how Issa treated him in the previous season. I personally didn't like how Issa treated Daniel, especially with the BJ incident. And that's one of the reasons why I was even surprised that Daniel took Issa back in. Because I'm sorry, if I was Daniel, I probably wouldn't have taken her back in. Or if I was to say, okay, you can come stay with me, but you're gonna have to help somehow, some way, like pay some sort of a bill or whatever the case may be. And so obviously there's still some feelings that they both have. Issa did tell Daniel that she still has feelings for him, but she doesn't want that to escalate into a relationship, which I'm happy about. I want this season to be about Issa's growth. Because we saw what happened in season 1 with her and Lawrence, and then in season 2 she was trying to do this whole quotation that basically blew up in her face, and she was just making one dumb decision after another. So I really want this season to be about her growing, but of course you always have to have a little drama there because this is a television show. So who knows? But Daniel is there, so maybe we get to see some growth out of Daniel as well. And one thing that I've noticed that both her and Daniel, they're very passive aggressive. They sort of have a hard time airing things out, especially Issa. We've seen this with her relationship with Lawrence, how it's so difficult for her to just come out and tell somebody how she truly feels. I guess that's just her personality. But one of the growths that I want to see from her is her being able to communicate how she feels, being able to communicate to somebody, hey, I think this is what you should or you shouldn't do, or whatever the case may be. I just want to see her be able to communicate with somebody. Another growth aspect that I would love to see from her is her job. Now, one thing that I love that she did at her job. Okay, so let me backtrack a little. I have my notes here, so I'm trying to go in order with my notes. So Issa has been demoted. If you didn't know, in the second season, she had to deal with this racist vice principal. I think he was the vice principal, or was he the principal? I can't remember. He's one of the two. He basically wanted the program that Issa was providing for the students to only be for the Black students. He purposely excluded the Latino students from receiving the same services. So when Issa revealed that to her boss told her, this can have severe consequences on our part. So I'm going to have to review you, because you can be, and we can get in serious trouble because of this. So Issa has been demoted. Frida has been promoted. And of course, this adds on to Issa's financial problems. Because of gentrification, she wasn't able to pay her rent at the Dunes, the apartments at the Dunes. and that's why she had to move out, and that's why she's living with Daniel. And she's also working part-time with Lyft. That's a whole nother adventure. But anyways, she was given a list by one of her co-workers. She had to make certain calls, and Issa saw the list and there's a lot of cross-outs. So she asked her co-worker, what are these cross-outs? And the co-worker told her, oh, these are the schools that are not working with us for whatever reason. So Issa, she calls one of the schools. She's on the phone with one of the schools that's been crossed out. And the school basically told her that, they don't want to work with We Got Y'all anymore. And then he says, heads up, your logo is racist. So the logo of We Got Y'all is a white hand uplifting black students. So Issa, she looks at the logo, she's like, and then she looks at the list. So she decides to call all the schools that have removed their partnership with We Got Y'all. So she writes down their critiques. One of the critiques are the curriculum is heavily Eurocentric for our students. Most of the people that you send to our school are white. Like, there's not enough representation for our students. We've seen the brochure and there's only one black person there. That's Issa. So Issa tries to bring these critiques to her boss, and of course, her boss is not listening to her. Her boss basically blames Issa for everything. But unbeknownst to the boss, the schools that are pulling out with their partnership with We Got Y'all, it has nothing to do with Issa. It has everything to do with the minor representation that they have within their curriculum for their Black and Latino students, number one. And of course, representation of Black and Latino staffs to be able to interact with the students in these undeserved, underrepresented schools. So, as I said, Issa is trying so hard to bring it to her boss's attention, but her boss is not listening to her. So what I am hoping is that Issa will use this as sort of a motivation to open her own private business. So, not private business, but either a nonprofit or a for-profit educational business that will provide services to these underrepresented schools. Hopefully, I just want to see some sort of growth with Issa, not just with her communicating, not just with her improving on herself, but of course with her finances. Because as we saw in the preview for the next episode, her credit score is really is atrocious, basically. So I want to see some sort of financial savvy from her. I want to see her get inspired to do better with her job, despite the fact that her boss is basically giving her the cold shoulder. Now with Molly, I am proud of Molly because she did something that she should have done in the previous season. She should have set up boundaries, and that is exactly what she's doing in this season. I was really disappointed in Molly when she decided to engage with Dro in an open relationship, in a sexual relationship with Dro. Dro is married, and he claims that he's in an open marriage that he and his wife are in an open marriage. But we got confirmation in this episode when Dro and Molly, they're in bed together. His phone rings, he picks up the phone, and it's his wife. And he basically tells his wife, oh yeah, I'm still over at Molly's. So his wife does know about him and Molly, having sex with each other. So I guess that's the show's way of confirming that they are together. I mean, it's the show's way of telling the audience his wife knows, because a lot of us had our suspicions that the wife doesn't know that she's in an open marriage with her husband, Dro. So yes, I was very disappointed last season when Molly entertained Dro with this whole open marriage thing, because we all know that Molly, she wants to be in a committed relationship. She wants to get married. She wants to have kids. She basically wants to have the same thing that her parents have, despite the fact that she found out that her father cheated on her mother. And it was because she found out that truth that just made her, it just made her go to Joel and, have sex with Joel, despite the fact that Joel is in an open marriage. So with her setting up the boundaries with Joel, she's able to basically not put Joel in his place, but yes, put Joel in his place, because Joel feels as if he can have Molly whenever he wants to, however he wants to, and Molly should happily oblige. Like when she asked Joel, hey, can I get my keys back? For some reason, Joel felt a certain type of way about Molly asking for her damn keys. Like, it's her keys to her apartment. If she wants her keys back, give it to her. You're not her boyfriend. You're not her official man. You can't be those things to her because you're married to another woman. So it just shows that Joel is very possessive, and he's very possessive of Molly. And I hope that this is the last time that we see Joel. And hopefully Molly will be able to move on and just be by herself for some time. And I hope that we get to see more of her therapy sessions. I was enjoying those therapy sessions that she was having in the previous season. So I'm hoping that we get to see those therapy sessions, and I'm hoping that she will open up to her therapist and tell her therapist about engaging in this relationship with Joe, a married man. And hopefully the therapist will be able to help her navigate as to why she did that. I mean, we all know why she did that, but maybe Molly doesn't know why she did what she did with Dro, because it came out of left field for someone like Molly to engage in such a relationship, especially for the fact that she made a huge scene when she found out that her father cheated on her mother a long time ago. Like, I think it was 20 years ago when her father cheated on her mother, and yet here she is sleeping with a married man. So you see, I need to see those therapy sessions. I hope, like I said, I hope this season is a season of growth for both Molly and Issa. And so far, the first episode is showing that they are growing. Molly set her boundaries up. She got her keys back from Dro. And hopefully that means this is the last time that we see Dro, hopefully. And then with Issa, she was able to communicate to Daniel. She basically told Daniel the truth. She said, because Daniel asked her, why are you here? Because he's thinking that he has a shot with Issa. And Issa eventually opened up to him, and he said, I knew that you would be there for me, and I need that right now. I need someone like that in my life right now. So she was finally truthful and honest with Daniel. And after that, her and Daniel, they seem to be cool after that conversation. So now Daniel knows where he lies in his relationship with Issa, and now Issa, she been knew where she lies with with her relationship with Daniel. It's just that Daniel had to know where he is in their little situationship, I guess. And remember, I want to mention this. Remember in the previous 2 seasons, the first and second season, they had a show called Due North. Well, in this season, they have a show. I don't know what it's called, but the actress that played Maxine from Living Single and the guy that played Dwayne's best friend from A Different World, and then Bill Bellamy, he's also in this. It's another parody show, and I think this show is a parody of 90s shows that are making a comeback. I don't know if you heard, I know this is going off tangent, but I don't know if you heard, but I think it's rumored that Living Single will be rebooted. There's talks of Martin, if you remember the show Martin, being rebooted, coming back. And I haven't watched Growish. Is that it? Is that the show? That's the spinoff of Blackish. I haven't watched Blackish. I'm gonna get on those eventually. But a lot of people are saying Growish is this day's version of A Different World. So the show that is a parody in Insecure is a parody of 90s shows making a comeback in today's generation. So I want to see where this is gonna go, because last season there was actually a season finale for Due North, and we got to see that. So who knows if it's going to be the same thing with this show. If anybody caught the name of the show, please comment below and let me know. So yeah, that is my review for Insecure Season 3, Episode 1. I kind of felt off reviewing this show. I do not know why. But I hope it's good. I don't know. I just felt a little off with this review. It's not like my previous reviews, but I don't know. But I will be talking about this show in the podcast that I do with my friends. We will be talking about Insecure, and we will give our own 2 cents. And we like doing that because there are guys there, so the guys can put their own 2 cents as well. So comment below, tell me what you think about Insecure. Are you ready to see a growth with Issa and Molly? What did you think of the lift party that Issa had? That had me dying. Nathan was fine. He was a fine guy. Yes, he was. And did you have any lift experiences? I had a lift experience. Should I share it? Yes. So I'm gonna share it a little bit. I did have a very good lift experience. Remember the first 2 passengers that Issa picked up at her lift party? It reminded me of a time when I was in a lift and I was on a way to my friend's birthday party. This happened last year. And it was a black woman who was driving. And, the same thing that Issa did. She asked me, oh, what music do you want to hear? And I told her about SZA, which I'm playing right now, Love Galore. So she played it, and we're just talking and all this stuff. And we were talking about Insecure, because I was like, yeah, I know the artist. I heard it from Insecure. She was like, oh, you watched that show? I was like, yes. And we just started, I was like, yeah. So we just started talking. And then she went and picked up another passenger. And thank God it was a black woman. So she came into the car. She hears SZA. She's like, oh, I love SZA. And I was like, yeah. And I told her, yeah, I know it from Insecure. She was like, oh, you watch Insecure? I was like, yes. And the 3 of us, we just started talking about Insecure, started talking about nigga problems, all this other stuff. Like that was my positive lift experience. So if you had a lift experience, whether it was bad or good, comment below and let me know about it. So that is my review, and I'll see you guys for episode 2 of season 3 for Insecure. I will be doing this for all 8 episodes of the season. I can't wait to see the next episode. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.